Good morning. Welcome to the 1994 Senior Assembly. This is a very special group of 330 individuals. During the past 4 years, there's been trials and tribulations with many of you, some of you more so than others. Some of you I've had closer contact than with others, but there isn't one of you that we're not proud of, and there's not one of you that aren't special. I present the individual members of the class of 1994. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Steve Land, President, Class of 1994. Steve?
Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank Mr. Goldsworthy and the administration for this outstanding year, and a special thank you to Mrs. Eastman and Mr. LaBelle, our class advisors. I know I speak for everyone when saying you guys are the greatest and we couldn't have done it without you. You are loved deeply by this class. Now I'd like to hand it over to Mr. and Mistress of Ceremonies, John Eastman and Casey Coughlin.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning, students, faculty, parents, guests, and most importantly, graduates of the class of 1994.
To start things off this morning, we would like to introduce our assistant principal, Mr. Richard Chapman, who will recognize the honor students.
That includes the valedictorian, salutatorian, academic top 20, and the Port Huron Area School District Academic Awards.
Every year I have the pleasure of introducing this group of academic students, and this is a truly excellent academic class. You have wonderful representation. The co-valedictorians of the class of 1994 with perfect 4.0 grade point averages are Amy Beecroft and Eric Osborne. Please stand. The salutatorian of the class of 1994 with a grade point average of 3.976 is Teresa Papanaugh. Last year, Northern established a new tradition by recognizing the academic top 20 of the class of 1993. This year, for the first time, recipients are wearing blue and gold academic top 20 medals signifying their outstanding success. I would ask each recipient to stand and remain standing when your name is called, and I would ask the audience to hold your applause until all 20 academic top 20 students have been named. Rachel Bennett, Rico Bonacci, Nicole Boyer, Michael Campbell, Joelle Cook, Katie Drake, Billy Heacock, Tammy Knowlton, Jan Lohr, Charlie Parent, Lori Presnar, Omar Prone, Patty Ray, Fraulein Reeves, Elizabeth Rinke, Andrea Schur, Annie Schultz, Rosalind Cha, Jamie Van Dusen, and Rebecca Watt. Congratulations. In addition, a select group of seniors has maintained a high school grade point average of 3.5 or better throughout their years here at Northern. They have been awarded pins, academic letters, or gold bars signifying academic excellence by the Greater Port Huron Marysville Chamber of Commerce. When the name of the academic honor student is announced, he or she should stand and remain standing until all awards are made. If the audience will please once again hold your applause until all of these names are read. It's a good-sized group this year. Okay. Aaron Atwell, Todd Ayotte, Marie Baldwin, Mary Beauchamp, Amy Beecroft, Rachel Bennett, Danielle Black, Rico Bonacci, Heather Boyd, Nicole Boyer, Monica Buchanan, Jennifer Campbell, Michael Campbell, Heather Carlton, Joelle Cook, Nicole Dane, Janine Davis, Katie Drake, Lindsay Erickson, Julie Gable, Kathleen Gambaro, Garrett Gentner, Billy Heacock, Andrew Irwin, Jonathan Jelnick, Carrie Kyle, Tammy Knowlton, Michelle Lewandowski, Jan Lohr, Fatima Mackey, Marcella McKinley, Eric Osborne, Teresa Papanaw, Charles Parent, Lori Presnar, Omar Prone, Patricia Ray, Annie Reeves, Elizabeth Rinke, Margaret Ruffing, Brent Sadoe, Andrea Schur, Ann Schultz, Laurel Skinner, Rosalind Cha, Emil Uriel, Jamie Van Dusen, Jordan Visdis, Andrea Voigt, and Rebecca Watt. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman.
Next, we would like to introduce Aaron Atwell and Damon Amy, who will be reviewing our freshman and sophomore years.
In September 1990, the class of 1994 entered the halls of Northern with not a clue where to go or what to do. We thought we were the lowest form of life on earth, freshmen. On that confusing first day, we began a journey that would end in 4 years and change our lives forever.
Our first task was to elect our officers. We selected Tim McFarland as president, Cory Moretz vice president, Jeff Glatchen secretary, and Charlie Zimmer treasurer.
We also met two very special people, Mrs. Eastman and Mr. LaBelle, that would guide us through the best of times and the worst of times at Northern. They would become not only our advisors, but our friends.
Our freshman football team posted a perfect 9-0 record, the first since Mr. Delkey played frosh football, and we won't mention how long ago that was.
Next came our first Mardi Gras. The theme was video games. As usual, freshmen got the last choice, and we chose Tetris. The highlight was our annihilation of the upperclassmen during the games assembly, and we began the tradition of winning tug of war. Nicole Boyer and Natalie Britz represented us on Queens Court. When everything was said and done, the final result showed us in last place. The seniors won Mardi Gras with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which showed that anyone can start their wall in the middle of the summer and still get away with it.
The Berlin Wall crumbled after dividing East and West Germany for many decades. Nelson Mandela was freed from a South African prison after serving 27 years. The Cold War came to an end, and the relationship between the United States and the Soviet Union turned into one of cooperation.
On January 16, 1991, the Gulf War began and Operation Desert Storm was born. Scud missiles, Saddam Hussein, and chemical warfare became our new vocabulary words. I think Mr. Young's class became more of a military base than a civics class, and we experienced firsthand what it was like to undergo a bombing of the toilet in the boys' bathroom during Mr. Baker's class.
With the end of the war, it was back to the books. Who can forget those graphic, in-depth health videos, Mr. Klink's exciting film strips, and Mrs. Mosier's ability to never let you get your homework started in class because of her amazing book of facts?
I'm the man in the box. Alice in Chains with a CD facelift started grunge rock. Metallica brought out the CD Metallica, and slam dancing evolved, which became a favorite of all the administrators at dances. Milli Vanilli got caught lip-syncing, like that was a big loss. Ice Ice Baby became Vanilla Ice's only hit. Stop. Hammer time. Does anything else have to be said?
Then came the movies, Ghost, which touched our hearts and made Unchained Melody an unforgettable love song. Julia Roberts debuted in Pretty Woman, and America tried to find Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone.
Snow Extravaganza proved to be another last place finish for the class of '94, but we would soon find out there would be many more of those to come. Mike Forbes and Brady Nelson represented us on King's Court. The highlight once again was our destruction during the games assembly, and of course, tug of war.
Boom, boom, boom. You know the rest. I don't think any freshman girl will forget that amazing airband dance, sponsored by Northern's own WRW, and how we awed in disbelief at those gorgeous senior men.
That summer, most of us entered the workforce and became just a little less dependent on our parents for money. We began the struggle of not being able to drive yet, but not wanting our parents to drive us anywhere either.
Now it was time for us to be one step closer to the ultimate goal, upperclassmen, but we were still just sophomores. Our JV football team went 6-3. We elected Coy Moretz president, Natalie Britz vice president, Jenny Pocklington secretary, and Charlie Zimmer treasurer.
For Mardi Gras, the theme was cities, and we chose Venice. Our wall didn't turn out exactly how we planned, seeing that our boat took up more space than our entire backdrop. That year, we realized that Mrs. Eastman would never get through a Mardi Gras without having a nervous breakdown. Tracy Schaefer and Tracy Johnson represented our class on Queens Court.
In the news, Clarence Thomas was finally confirmed to be on the Supreme Court after long hours of testimony that he had sexually harassed Anita Hill. America was stunned as it watched the beating of Rodney King by Los Angeles police officers. Biosphere 2 was plagued with controversy. Was it an experiment of science or business? Mike Tyson was charged with rape and went to prison.
Our basketball team went to the state quarterfinals against Pershing. The only thing I can say about that game, isn't there a limit as how many times a team can dunk on another team?
Hammer dropped the MC and released Too Legit to Quit. Guns N' Roses released Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Macaulay Culkin makes an easy million for the movie My Girl, and Beverly Hills 90210 hit the TV and attempted to deal with teen problems.
Now it's time for Snow 1992. The theme was Olympics, and we swept once again in the games assembly. Overall, we came in last, which was no surprise to any of us. Brian Murphy and Eric Pago were on King's Court.
I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred dominated Air Band. If we had only known that we would not have another one for 2 years. Did anyone find out the real reason?
We ended our sophomore year with a feeling of accomplishment because we are now halfway done, but we still had a long way to go. It marked the end of our underclassmen years and the beginning of the best 2 years of our lives.
Thank you, Aaron and Damon, for that insightful look back at our pre-driver's license years.
Moving on, we would like to introduce National Honor Society Advisor, Mrs. Ann Murphy, for the announcement of the National Honor Society Scholarship recipients.
Thank you, Casey and John. As co-advisors of the National Honor Society, Mrs. Irene Hamill and I have thoroughly enjoyed working with this year's National Honor Society. It is very difficult to say goodbye to such a fine group of seniors. They've worked very hard. We're very proud of you all, and we wish you the best of luck as you leave Northern and pursue your very bright futures. On May 20th, the Port Huron Northern High School chapter of the National Honor Society hosted a Hard Rock Cafe scholarship luncheon. The luncheon was well attended, and as a result of the generous donations made by those who enjoyed the luncheon, $1,200 was raised to award to a well-deserving senior member of our National Honor Society. The National Honor Society Faculty Council, after much serious consideration of the fine members who applied for the scholarship, has decided to award $400 each to 3 seniors who have each given their all to the success of this year's Honor Society. It is my pleasure to announce the 1994 National Honor Society Scholarship recipients. Would you please stand when your name is called? Service Point and Luncheon Committee Co-Chairman Amy Beecroft. Treasurer and Chicago Trip Chairman, Fraulein Annie Reeves. And National Honor Society President, Liz Rinke. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Mrs. Murphy. Next up are Tricia Adler and Nicole Boyer.
These two lovely ladies will be introducing the 1994 Hall of Fame members.
Members of the Northern Hall of Fame become members by virtue of their position in the class, through election by members of the senior class, and through election by the faculty. When your name is called, will you please stand? This year's members are Senior Class President Steve Land,
Student Council President John Eastman,
National Honor Society President Liz Rinke,
Mardi Gras Queen Natalie Helwig,
Snow Extravaganza King Brian Murphy,
Editors of the Yearbook Jordan Vistas and Brianna Watson,
Editor of the newspaper Katie Kuchenmeister,
Co-Valedictorians Amy Beecroft and Eric Osborne,
Salutatorian Teresa Papanaugh,
Radio Station Program Director Kristen Coughlin,
Senior MAC Award recipients Nicole Boyer and John Eastman,
Band President Nick Amato,
Choir President Andrea Voigt,
Outstanding Senior Athletes Eric Pagel and Hillary Hoxie,
Seniors elected by class Danielle Black, Annie Reeves, Troy Schneider, and Charlie Zimmer.
Seniors elected by faculty John Jelnick and Andrea Schur.
Would you give them a round of applause?
Thank you, Tricia and Nicole.
Now we would like to introduce Rachel Wagley and Tracy Schaefer, who will be introducing those teachers who have had to put up with our griping over report cards for the past few years.
The senior homeroom teachers.
We would like to thank the class of 1994's homeroom teachers for their support.
Please hold your applause until all the teachers are announced.
Mr. Randy Anderson,
Mr. Richard Baker,
Mrs. Carol Cano,
Mr. Ronald Davey,
Mrs. Carl Lee Dowd,
Mrs. Janet Eastman,
Mr. Lynn Esterline,
Mr. Dan Hanton,
Mr. Thomas Hildebrandt,
Mr. Paul Johnson,
Mrs. Connie Cray,
Mr. Raymond LaBelle,
Mrs. Sherry Ann Lamara,
and Mrs. Megan Landon.
Mr. Robert Thomas.
Thanks again for all your support.
Thank you, Rachel and Tracy,
Now we would like to proudly present Andrea Schur and Matt Lumen.
who will be giving us a flashback of our junior and senior years.
With the start of our junior year, we finally attained the privilege of becoming upperclassmen.
The problem was, we didn't know whether to think of high school as halfway done or halfway begun.
Our leaders for the year were President Natalie Britz, Vice President John Eastman, Secretary Mary Beaushaw, and Treasurer Andrea Schur.
The first highlight of the year, as always, is football season and the infamous Mardi Gras game. Tracy Johnson and Olivia Ross rode out to the field as our junior Queens Court representatives.
Unfortunately, playing Eisenhower for our Mardi Gras game, we got slaughtered 48-7.
Well, don't feel so bad, because the results of Mardi Gras activities for our class were just as terrible.
The theme was Disney movies, and we chose Pinocchio.
We created the most original wall ever, but unfortunately, it wasn't good enough. Coming in third in the wall and third overall carried on our tradition of finishing as close to last as possible.
The next main sporting events were varsity basketball and wrestling. Basketball went 15-3, and wrestlers were league champs with an undefeated record of 9-0.
That brings us to Snow Extravaganza Week. With the theme Saturday Night Live and a showcase on Deep Thoughts, the class of '94 came in second place. Our representatives for Kings Court last year were Brian Murphy and Brady Nelson.
Moving on throughout our junior year, many New World events came about.
Such events were the LA riots, Hurricane Andrew, and the election of Bill Clinton as President of the United States.
Flipping from world events to entertainment, the late night wars heated up with the retirement of Johnny Carson. Cheers aired its final episode, and 90210 gained popularity, as well as its spin-off Melrose Place.
Hit television shows were Blossom, The Fresh Prince, and Roseanne. Ren and Stimpy became the most notorious cartoon couple of the year. That is, until Beavis and Butthead.
Three of the hottest movies in 92-93 were Aladdin, Wayne's World, and The Bodyguard.
The music scene displayed the live interview with Michael Jackson by Oprah. Skin disease? Maybe.
Some of the most popular musicians included Dr. Dre, Pearl Jam, REM, and U2.
As the end of our junior year approached, we all looked forward to summer '93 and all it had in store for us.
Finally, we reached the ultimate plateau here at Northern, our senior year.
Everything will happen for one last time, and the class of '94 wants to do it right. Our football team, led by awesome captains and determined senior athletes, came so close to making the playoffs.
Our record was 7-2, the best overall record Northern has achieved in the MAC Red so far.
Destroying PH for the 8th year in a row, 21-0. Our players walked off the field with the Brick Fowler Trophy one more time.
Last game of the year was also the Mardi Gras game. We ran over Romeo 28-7. We played the best in our final game for the Northern Huskies.
The halftime activities included the wild card race, which seniors won for the 2nd year in a row, and also the crowning of 1993's Mardi Gras Queen.
Representing our class were Beth Anderson, Natalie Hellwig, and Olivia Ross. Natalie Hellwig was crowned as queen.
Taking first in all of Mardi Gras activities, except Spirit Week, seniors won the barrel finally. We dominated the games assembly, won the penny jars, and conquered all the other walls with our interpretation of the Egyptian era.
The basketball team produced an 8-10 record, and wrestling went 4-7. Eric Pagel ruled his weight class and became state champ, and Brian Maxwell finished a well-deserved third in state competition.
Volleyball had a great year also. With a record of 7 wins and no losses, they became MAC champs.
The hockey team had a good season too, but ended up getting gypped in regional play.
Oh yeah, what happened at that game anyways?
Supposedly someone from Northern's team was in the crease.
What's a crease?
Never mind, Andrea. Anyways, now snow extravaganza came around again, and for us it was the last time.
With an all-new format, seniors still took the skis, thanks to winning the mini float football game and games assembly.
Brian Murphy was crowned king during the games assembly, and about that assembly, where were all the seniors anyways?
I don't know, but you're forgetting one of the most important parts about snow this year.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Our girls' football team kicked.
Oh yeah, you guys were great. Anyways, with the barrel and skis in our possession, the class of '94 finally achieved what nobody thought we could: victory.
The next main event was Airband '94, and yes, we actually did have one.
The Beatles won, taking us back with their interpretation of A Hard Day's Night.
Well, Matt, I suppose we can't leave out the most annoying part of every senior's life this year.
And that is, let me guess,
news points. All throughout this year, at some time, each senior suffered through a boring 60 Minutes or some other television newscast.
Reading magazines while asleep or just plain not reading them at all would describe a lot of us this past year.
And in between Annie Rooney or nightly news, some seniors had to write our favorite, the research paper.
All those late nights spent on news points or 4x6 cards taught seniors what was really going on out in the world. The Great Flood, Dr. Kevorkian, the Israel and PLO peace accord, and South Africa all became areas of interest.
Don't forget the bobbits. They became a popular topic of discussion in many POD classes for as long as the guys could handle it.
And how many magazine articles can the press come up with on Tanya Harding?
I don't know, but they sure set a record with that one.
The U.S. suffered losses of many well-known people this year, such as Nixon, Kurt Cobain, Reggie Lewis, and the ever-celebrated comic John Candy.
Box office toppers were Jurassic Park, The Fugitive, and The Firm. Most viewed television shows were Home Improvement, Seinfeld, and Martin.
Well, with 4 years down and graduation activities being the only part of our high school left for us, we can look back and realize how everyone has changed.
From freshmen to seniors, time went fast, but we hope our memories from Northern will last a lifetime.
And a great big thanks to our class advisors, Mrs. Eastman and Mr. LaBelle. We only have one more thing to say.
Seniors 94, we're out of here.
Thank you, Matt and Andrea.
And once again, we would like to introduce Matt Lumen and Damon Amy, our cone crew leaders,
Matt and Damon will be handing off the sacred King Cone
to well-deserving juniors.
The Cone Crew has been a tradition for a few years, and now it is time for the class of '94 to become part of that tradition by handing the cones down to the upcoming seniors.
The King Kongs are individuals who are spirited and shown in a unique way. They are those that show leadership by supporting all Northern sporting events and the players involved.
We would now like to name the two King Cones for the '94-'95 year and wish them good luck next year.
Rhett Langoff
And Jeremy Lumen.
Thank you, Matt and Damon.
And have fun, Brett and Jeremy.
Next, we would like to introduce Mr. Stanley Renner.
Mr. Renner will be recognizing the winners of the departmental awards.
Thank you. It's good to be back. This year, as in past years, the faculty of each department has chosen the student who they feel best exemplifies outstanding achievement in the various areas of Northern's curriculum. Medal awards to the winners may be picked up outside the main office following the assembly. But first, there's a special Linford Bond Science Award that's given to the student that the science department thinks is most dedicated to their study of science. Named after Northern's second department head of science, a man who worked here 37 years, not all at Northern, but for the school district, and never missed one day. That's dedication. The winner of the Linford Bond Science Award is Andrew Irwin. Remain standing, that's fine. Now, all of you, please stand. Everyone hold their applause till all are named. The departmental awards for Science, Amy Beecroft. Mathematics, Rico Bonacci. Vocational Technology, Emo Uriel. Vocational Business Education, Sarah Armstrong. Industrial Technology, Eric Osborne. Business Arts, Renee Krause. Art, Heather Cote. Vocal Music, Andrea Voigt. Instrumental Music, Jason Rowe. German, Laurel Skinner. Spanish, Andrea Grinder. English, Janine Davis. French, Rosalind Tia. Social Studies, Charlie Parent. Yearbook, Jordan Visdus and Brianna Watson. Drama, Robert London. Female athlete, Hillary Hoxie. Male athlete, Eric Pagel. Female physical education, Melissa Dyson. Male physical education, Chris Utley. TV production, Ryan Ralkin. That's it for this year's departmental award winners. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Renner.
And once again, we would like to bring up Mr. Jim Goldsworthy, who will be recognizing Academic Scholar Diploma recipients.
As well as scholarships and recipients of other awards.
The first group we have are the Academic Scholar Diploma recipients. Please stand when your name is read. Mary Beauchamp, Amy Beecroft, Rachel Bennett, Nicole Boyer, Joelle Cook, Nicole Dane, Janine Davis, Katie Drake, Lindsay Erickson, Catherine Gambaro, Tamara Knowlton, Fatima Matke, Marcella McKinley, Eric Osborne, Teresa Papanaw, Charles Parent, Lori Presnar, Omar Prone, Patricia Ray, Fraulein Reeves, Elizabeth Rinke, Margaret Ruffing, Laurel Skinner, Andrea Shore, Ann Schultz, Rosalind Cha, and Andrea Voigt. Congratulations. The next group of recipients are the State of Michigan Competitive Scholarship Program recipients. These individuals qualified based on their ACT scores. Those who have received money have already been notified. Trish Adler, David Albert, David Allen, Daniel Alonzo, Nicholas Amato, Sherry Amsteds, Sarah Armstrong, Aaron Atwell, Todd Ayotte, Marie Baldwin, Mary Beauchamp, Amy Beecroft, Rachel Bennett, Rico Bonacci, Heather Boyd, Nicole Boyer, Monica Buchanan, Scott Cameron, Jennifer Campbell, Michael Campbell, Jennifer Corey, Heather Cote, Kristen Coughlin, John Cushman, Melissa Delripple, Nicole Dane, Janine Davis, Katie Drake, John Eastman, Scott Amy, Lindsay Erickson, Abby Foster, Kathleen Gambaro, Garrett Gettner, Jeff Gladson, Aaron Goldfarb, Andrew Goodman, Andrea Grinder, Billy Heacock, Todd Hess, Hillary Hoxley, Lisa Ingalls, Andrew Irwin, John Jelnick, Tracy Johnson, Tamara Knowlton, Crystal Kovach, Daniel Kewen, Jason Latkin, Courtney Landon, Wesley Leonard, Michelle Lewandowski, Jan Lohr, Fatima Mackey, Nicole Marone, Brian Maxwell, Marcella McKinley, Timothy McFarland, Corey Mosier, Brian Murphy, William Nessel, Lee Norton, Sean O'Connor, Eric Osborne, Teresa Papanaugh, Charles Parent, Nathan Petz, Jason Podrowski, Lori Presnar, Omar Prone, Patricia Ray, Fraulein Reeves, Nathan Renner, Elizabeth Rinke, Jason Rowe, Margaret Ruffing, Laura Rumps, Melissa Russell, Brett Sotoy, Andrea Shore, Ann Schultz, Laurel Skinner, Joseph Scotcher, Jennifer Sachs, Eric Stein, Mickey Stout, William Swaffer, Rosalind Cha, Jeff Topolewski, Emil Uriel, Jamie Van Duzen, Jordan Vizdas, Andrea Voigt, Rebecca Watt, Todd Watson, Renee Wilton, Robert Worthington II, Jacqueline Zarowski, and Courtney Zimmer. That's the largest group of recipients for the Michigan Scholar based on ACT that we've ever had. Congratulations. The following students have received scholarships as we've been notified. There's always other students that have received scholarships that we're not aware of, and more scholarships will be coming in, and we will recognize those students as they come in. If you please stand, your name is called. 1994 scholarship recipients are Trish Adler to Michigan State, it's Eastern Michigan Bank Scholarship. Rachel Bennett, Western Michigan University Excellence Scholarship. Mike Campbell, Michigan Tech University Board of Control Scholarship. Shayna Carson, St. Clair County Community College Cy Smith Scholarship. Kim Cates, Chicago State University Athletic Scholarship Volleyball. Heather Cote, Spring Arbor College Scholars Award. Kristen Coughlin, Principal's Leadership Award. Jennifer Crawford, Track Scholarship, Macomb County Community College. Nicole Dane, Western Michigan University Academic Award. Kimberly Day, Baker College of Port Huron Business Scholarship. Rachel Defoe, Baker College of Port Huron Co-op Scholarship. Katie Drake, Albion College, Presidential Recognition Academic Scholarship, the Beckon Dickinson and Company Academic Scholarship. Lindsay Erickson, Western Michigan University, Academic Achievement Scholarship. Kathleen Gambaro, Hope College, Alumni Honors Scholarship. Andrew Goodman, Alma College Presidential Scholarship. Andrea Grinder, St. Clair County Community College, St. Clair County Community Association of School Board Scholarship, and the Cy Smith Scholarship. Todd Hess, Central Michigan University, the Ryan Marks Memorial Scholarship matched by Huron Cable TV. Andrew Irwin, Michigan Tech University Board of Control Scholarship. John Jelnick, St. Clair County Community College Port Huron Education Association Scholarship. Tammy Knowlton, University of Michigan James E. Casey Scholarship. Katie Kuchenmeister, Grand Valley State University, Grand Valley University Scholarship. Matthew Lumen, Hope College Scholarship, Fidelis Guild Scholarship. Brian Murphy, Michigan State University, Athletic Scholarship, Baseball. April Nicholson, St. Clair County Community College, District of Education Clubs of America Competition Advertising Scholarship. Eric Osborne, Duke University, Robert C. Byrd Honor Scholarship. Teresa Papanoff, Western Michigan University, University Excellence Award. Elizabeth Rinke, St. Clair County Community College, Krieger Memorial Scholarship, Michigan State High Achiever Scholarship. Margaret Ruffing, Loyola University of Chicago Academic Scholarship, and the Robert Trapp WORW Radio Station Scholarship. Melissa Russell, St. Clair County Community College, United Auto Workers Scholarship. Anne Marie Schultz, Albion College, Presidential Scholarship. Eric Stein, Coast Guard Academy Scholarship. Andrea Voigt, Grand Valley State University Owen Bieber Scholarship, Grand Valley State Award of Excellence. Courtney Zimmer, Western Michigan University Recognition Award. Other awards, Catherine Rabeau, the Troy W. Robinson Memorial for Exceptional Contribution Scholarship. The following seniors have received unofficial certification from the International Society of Certified Electronics Technicians and Engineers. Rico Bonacci, Jason Latkin, Lee Norton, Eric Osborne, Brent Sodaway, Emo Uriel. Additional scholarships, Patty Ray, Kalamazoo College Honor Scholarship, Marcia McKinley, Northland College Honorary Scholarship, and Charlie Parent, appointment to the U.S. Air Force Academy, and Colonel Soul from the community college told me yesterday that Port Huron Northern seniors over the last 6 years have received more scholarships to the U.S. Air Force Academy than the other 17 high schools in this geographic area. Those are recipients. Congratulations, each and every one of you.